Hey, what is going on? Come to win here. You guys are winners, and today, welcome to Unreal Talkament, the show where I talk about everything Unreal Tournament, Quake, and Arena FPS genre that is on Linux. We have some good stuff today. Hopefully, you'll enjoy. Our first topic this week is Unreal Tournament. Mousesports, the gaming team from Germany, has made an Unreal Tournament team. It comes from the ashes of their Overwatch team, which sort of failed because Overwatch didn't really take off as an esport. People, quite a brave move. Hope it doesn't disband before the game actually fully comes out, which is true. I think it will do quite well. I've been watching a few of the guys stream, played with a couple of the guys, and it seems to be quite good going. And I think that if we can get more teams going, it will be a very good team. The team consists of the team captain Fragem, W_V, Znatch, Hypno and Dylan, who are all ex-players and have been playing for a little while. It is quite a mixed team, considering that Mousesports is German and only Fragem is German. You have two UK guys in Dylan and in WV. Znatch is Swedish and Hypno is Portuguese, so it is a pretty spread team. I would guess they're probably speaking English in the team chat. On to our next topic, we have a question about the Quake Champions community and what platform will they play it on. I made a little straw poll, got 130 votes on that, and I had a few categories. I had Windows for Windows, so they're going to buy it on Windows and play it on Windows, as that's the main operating system. Windows, but if it's on Linux, then they're going to play it on Linux, meaning they're going to probably buy it anyway or play it anyway, since it's going to be free to play. But if it's on Linux, they will be playing it on Linux. Linux, if it's not there, I'm not going to play it. Not at all. Mac, if it's not there. Mac, if it's there, but not if it isn't. So they're not going to play at all if it's not on Mac. And Windows, but if it's on Mac, then they're going to play on Mac. We had 105 or 81% for Windows on Windows, which is obviously about what I was expecting. Windows, but if it's on Linux, they're going to play it on Linux, was quite good at 12 votes and 9%. Linux, if it's there but not, which is my personal one, if it's not on Linux, I'm not going to be playing it. That was at 6 votes and 5%. Not at all was exactly the same. I did give it out to the general Arena FPS Reddit, so I'm guessing that's where most of them came from, because obviously the Quake and Quake Champions Reddit, why you're there. Mac got 1 vote, that's only Mac, and Windows but it play on Mac didn't get any votes. So that's quite interesting, actually. That shows that the Quake Champions people are going to want to play on Windows. We got quite a few things about people who would swap to Linux if it had the gaming support, but it just doesn't. And yeah, I think if we can get gaming support for Linux much better than we do now, Linux will take off as an operating system. Next up, just after I released last week's video, I had a little thing on Reflex. It was apparently built from the ground up with DirectX 11, which means a port to Linux is very unlikely. I did a bit of digging, and actually they did the first builds with DirectX 11, but they very soon moved it down to DirectX 10 to allow better support for different operating systems, which is cool. However, the fact that it's DirectX 10 means that it can run on Linux under Wine quite well now, and I'd love to see if anyone knows or anyone has it and can run it on Linux. Could you please test that and tell us how it works? But the fact that it is built in DirectX 10 unfortunately means that it will not be able to be ported very easily. This is the same with Diabotical, actually. It's going to be built with DirectX 10, meaning a port is going to be quite difficult. So I would say if you are a game developer, please, please, please use Vulkan. It will run just as well on Windows as DirectX will, but you will be able to run it on anything. The only excuse not to is if you're using Unity, because that can just export to everything perfectly fine. But yeah, OpenGL Vulkan will run perfectly fine on Windows. Please use them. It'll make our lives a lot easier as Linux and Mac users, and it will make your lives a lot easier if you do ever need to port it over. You can focus, obviously, on the Windows development and making sure that it runs very well on Windows before everything else, but it'd be quite cool if you could run it on everything. That's from me as a developer to you as a developer. Thank you for listening to that bit of a rant on people using tools I don't really like. So we're back onto Unreal Tournament for a bit now, and Plus Forward has released some rankings for everybody who is playing currently. At the top we have Aiko, the world number 1, who has 2,251 points. Then you've got Dylan, Repeat, Sulco, Sunday, Znatch, Zarkan, Deity, Pennsylvania and Reeve. There's your top 10 really. This is based off of a few matches that they've managed to put together, but there's not enough information really to get a solid standing. It seems to be about right, and from what I've seen of these players it's certainly about right, but it could be better, and hopefully over time more people will join and we'll be able to get rankings on not just Duel, which we currently have, but also 2v2, 3v3, 5v5 CTF, and all these other game modes that are awesome in Unreal Tournament. So if you can help out with that, please go to plusforward.net and try and help out with that. It's also a great place to get news. I get quite a lot of the stuff that I show on here from there, because it also does Overwatch, Quake, Diabotical, CPMA. They're the ones at the top. It's a good place to go. Go there, not sponsored or anything by them. I just use the service, so I think I should probably shout them out. In Unreal Tournament event news, we have nothing last week, but this weekend, after this goes up, we have the ICTF Spring with ESL and Unreal Battles. Unreal Battles, I think they've just about managed to get enough players for the 16 players, but they might not have quite got that. It was today that they were just sort of trying to get some people. After that, on the 2nd of April, we have the Community Cup 11 from ESL and the 5v5 inaugural CTF Draft League with ESL as well. That's with UT4 Pugs, and the Community Tournament is just ESL on its own. That's up this week in Unreal Tournament event news, so that should be about it for this week on Unreal Talkament. It's been a bit of a lax week in terms of gaming. Quite a lot of things have happened elsewhere, but not really anything in terms of Linux arena shooters. That's about it for the week though. I hope you have a really good weekend, and yeah, have a great time, and I'll see you in the next one.